Welcome to a professional Zerg versus Terran, a highly recommended match from IEM Katowice. In the upper right corner, the drones, the hatchery. In red, it is Scarlett. Already sending a drone out. Okay. Alright. And the Terran opponent and or victim in the bottom left corner. In blue, of course, Clem. You guys were highly recommending this one, and I think I'm starting to see why. So Clem, perhaps unknowingly opening up very standard, but Scarlett is not. Scarlett opening up with a proxy hatchery. It is a hatch first. You can't say it's not a hatch first build, huh? Zerg players taking pages from Bly's book. Already rallied exactly where you want to go, huh? So Clem, very likely, is going to open up with the normal Reaper. I expect him to send an SCV out, too. Speaking of SCV there it goes. Don't know what to call him. Steve. We'll go with Steve. The SCV walks right by the hatchery here. So Scarlett, immaculate positioning on that to not be spotted. Clem gets to see the Overlord and thinks nothing's wrong. But wait. Because normally there's a hatch here. So now the SCV goes into the base, sees the pool, is going to find the Roach Warren, actually. Scarlett opening up with a Roach push. At least it's a push. We don't know if it's an all-in just yet. Clem rightfully sending that Reaper around. What did they just cancel? Scarlett just canceled something, it looked like. Probably because the Reaper's right here. You gotta wait for the Queen to come out and send away this bully. Bunker going up for Clem. Definitely the right move. Couple bunkers. Also, I expect to see the command center built on the high ground as well. Reaper going to be hit with a few knitting needles right there. The Queen comes out and is not having any of his shenanigans. Zero. A couple Marines come up to try and help out, but I think I'd still bet my money on the Queen. Creek Tumor going to be picked off. Clem, the oncologist extraordinaire, gets out with the Reaper as well. SCV's just hanging out on this side of the map, likely to see if Scarlett actually does expand at all, because you need to know if the Zerg's expanding behind this to see, is it an all-in? And right now, it's looking like an all-in, because there's Ravagers on the front door, but then Scarlett's going to take the hatchery behind it, so definitely not an all-in. If there was no hatchery and there was just continued roach production, but behind this, there's drones on the way too, guys, so definitely just a bit of opening pressure, which is great. And it's kind of a great thing to do against Clem, too, who you would figure likes to be in control of the game, wants to be dictating these action steps as you go. If you can knock somebody, especially a Terran, off their balance this early, parts of the build might get messed up. Things become a little bit slower, not as optimized. Command centers are built on the high ground instead of the low ground. These little things can add up over the course of the game. Ravagers boxing as best they can. Cyclone not able to get really anything done. The siege tank is going to prevent these things from just walking up the ramp. So at this point, I think the priority as the Zerg player shifts to just denying the expansion as long as you can. And there's creep here. Creep here. Creep in the Terran's natural at the 4-minute mark. I don't see how you can't call that a victory, at least. Clem's going to have to spend a scan just to get his own natural taken. Queen's stepping forward even in front of the Ravagers because they know how good they are. Their confidence is unbound. Additional siege tanks going to come down the ramp. They do have to be a little bit careful because of the Ravager biles. You want to make sure, as the Terran player, the Ravagers have to come up far enough to do their biles that they take an obscene amount of damage. Spore. Why is there a spore here? Who knows? Maybe a preemptive in case Clem decided to try and clean this up with a Banshee? That would be my guess. Banshee's usually a common pick for dealing with a Roach all-in or early Roach pressure, but Clem not even opting for a starboard. Instead, triple Rex plus factory. Oh, this tumor. This tumor is artfully placed. Clem cleaned up the couple tumors here, and I think was expecting the creep to recede from here, but it's not going to because of that tumor. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Behind this, Scarlett is in full macro mode. Drone production, third base coming up, Evo chambers and upgrades on the way. Oh, Clem did get the tumor. And is spending the Cyclone's lock-on on a Spore Crawler, which Scarlett is going to save. That Spore Crawler is very important for some reason. Who knows? Ravager still just being annoying. All of this is a win here for Scarlett. Absolutely. Clem has been stuck in his own base, in his own natural, while Scarlett's been able to drone up freely, going for upgrades and essentially 3 base saturation. Scot-free. By the way, Steve, still kicking here. Just keeping an eye on things. He needs a promotion, doesn't he? Metabolic boost just now finishing for the Zerg. How often do you see that? Metabolic boost finishing up at the 7-minute mark. Stim's gonna finish up in the next few seconds too. Clem has successfully broken the hold. The hatchery's been destroyed. There's still creep tumors and one by larva. I had to say it. He will be remembered. All the potential lings and lisks that it could have been. There's other units too, but mostly just lings and lisks. Clem, having broken the hold, feeling a bit of confidence, or perhaps just the need to get something done, is moving across the map. Has to set up the siege tanks. There's a lot of Ravagers though. Decent spread on the tanks. You want a little bit of space in between them just to prevent some obscenely cost-effective biles. It takes 3? I think it's 3 biles to kill a tank. So if you can spend multiple biles to kill multiple tanks, that's insanely good. Clem, I think rightfully so, is just going to back up, realizing that Scarlett has been droning up like a complete hero behind this. Has enough economy to support a higher army production than Clem right now. Hive at 830. Ooh. Now that's a Zerg favored game. The creep spread is at the past the halfway mark, and there's a hive on the way too. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Stim did finish up, but no combat. There's the combat shields. I just have to save something like this. I apparently have that special power. Maybe I should say something like, there's no buffalo chicken. There's no chicken wings anywhere, and then poof, chicken wings for all. You'll thank me later. Clem trying to get something done with the medevac, but Ravager's keeping a very watchful eye on all of that. Plus, there's a Spore Crawler over at this base, so I don't expect Clem to really get anything done. He just needs to focus on building up. Getting those upgrades, he's got his 3rd command center down. Tanks are spread out very nicely. Ultralisk Cavern. Scarlett. More like Ultra Risk, am I right? Ultras, they can be good, especially against marine tank compositions. However, they are still always a little bit of a risk. Again, having a roach-centric composition, sometimes it feels more natural to go into something like lurkers, because you're already, helping out your ranged units. You've been getting ranged upgrades. You're used to that kind of playstyle. Scarlett even has 1/1 for the ranged stuff. But I won't deny the Ultralisks. That makes me a happy caster. I love seeing Ultras. Clem managed to slip a drop by and kills off 11 drones. Very nice pickup. And he's just a manager, I guess. So overseeing the operation from afar. Is Scarlett going to let him live? It looks like it. It actually looks like it for now. Parasitic Bomb is going to clean up all of the Marines in that medevac. That's a gruesome death, if I ever saw one. Medevac gets out, you think, it's fine, we're all free, we can go home. And then a Parasitic Bomb hits the medevac. Ouch. Ultras are on the way. Clem's finishing up the 4th command center. All this creep is gone. So Clem will be able to take the 4th base. Scarlett needs to probably think about doing some pressure. Because if Clem is able to build back up into a max supply force, teching into Ghosts right now, if he can get out Ghosts and Liberators, then it could be anyone's game. Right now, Scarlett is still quite a bit ahead, I feel. Chitinous Plating about to finish up, timing with Adrenal Glands nicely. I expect to see them move forward now. Tanks are already set up, though. Couple Ultras and Ravagers moving around the topside for a flank. Clem unsieges and tries to pull back. I'm not sure about this. The Ultras get on top of the siege tanks. Oh, Clem with a quick save. Blinding Cloud to counteract, though. Tanks are spread out impressively so. What a cinematic battle here. Ultras get on top of everything before being evaporated by the tank shots. Biles going out onto additional tanks, and SCVs are dying in the 3rd base. Ultra cleaning up everything there. Bio versus Roach Ravager. Bio definitely favored there. The DPS is just too high, but SCVs are dying off in droves. Scarlett reinforcing with the flood of Zerglings. There's Ghosts on the way, though, and Ghosts trade very well against kind of everything, sadly. Oh, the SCV slaughter. 39, 40 SCVs. Both bases are just being chewed apart. Clem is going to clean it up, but we have to ask that eternal question, at what cost? Scarlett, no, he's already down. Why are you kicking him? Why are you punching him? He's already bleeding. More Ultras on the way. I like it. How can you not like Ultras? I wish they were better. I wish they were just a little bit more functional, because it feels good. They may not be a good unit, but it feels good. It feels nice, especially from a viewing perspective, entertaining. That is definitely way too much Zerg for that small Terran force. I was saying that it could be an even game, but that was before Scarlett tore apart 40-something SCVs. I think we're looking at the death throes of Mr. Clem in this game here. Ultra just going to back up. This group can move in. GG is going to be called masterfully played by Scarlett. Very well earned. If you enjoyed, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day.